Hey everyone, it's your boy Eric Blake. Welcome back to Hardballed Entertainment. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I always trying to find the time, and somehow haven't been able to. But finally I have. Good. All right, folks. I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to be doing exactly what I promised last episode. I'm going to do an exclusive review of City of Venus, Issue 1, Dead City, by the great Vinne Tartamella, the Bee King. I would specify exactly what that's short for, but I'm just trying to, yeah. If you know, you'll understand why. Anyway, okay. Anyway, so Vinne Tartamella. By the way, this guy. First of all, this guy is awesome. Now he's a big part of the whole like indie comic scene, and obviously he's like very well. He has a lot of experience. Like he actually like was he was a comic artist for the big two, or at least but he soon enough like he was like booted out essentially because some schmucks like the authorities in power were basically trying to like steal some of his work. You know, he's talked about this story several times, but he went into the indie comic scene, and pretty soon like he became like he's one of like the big stars of what became known as Comicsgate, and now it is just like the indie comic scene as it is. Like this guy, he is a force to be reckoned with. Now, I would recommend like going to like his channel, which I'll provide a description. Not description. I'll provide a link to it in my in the description. And okay, with all that out of the way, let's get right into his first his big indie comic right now, City of Venus, Dead City. Like now, obviously he's got some other stuff, you know, which all of this you can find on Indiegogo. Like he's one of those that he's going to have even after his official campaign is done. Like he's still like, I got this thing a while back. This beauty like a while back. This was actually the first indie comic of this community, the first one that I got, and it was I was like so eager to get this, and this, you know, seriously, like everything about this, I am so excited beyond belief for issue 2, the next City of Venus. But again, like I'll say, I guess that's a little bit of a spoiler for like what I think of this comic. I love it, but I'll get into, you know, the things that I love about this in the future. Oh, let's see, the future of this video. I mean, what am I gonna say? But you know, well, he'll do like, you know, his City of Venus issue 2 like in the near future. But like right now, like you can see on Indiegogo, you can see like City of Venus, Dead City, issue 1. You can see his an older comic that he did like a bit ago, Through the Woods, but he did like a rerun of it, but like in the context of that's now in this new indie comic scene. He did like this big like collection as like a graphic novel, if you will, and hardcover. And that's gotten very powerful, got very popular, and right now he's doing like his new comic is a pirate one called Shadow of the Kraken, which I highly recommend like getting a look at it. And I've told him about like on his live streams, I've mentioned to him, said, you know, the male lead of that comic looks a lot like Henry Cavill. It's like, yeah, well, he was one of the models for it, and one of the guys for it. Well, not models, essentially. He was one of the guys to like look at, like for me, like as the artist to look at. And as for like the female hunter, I said like I could see a Gal Gadot play her and so on. But it is some cool stuff like in a movie. Like it's not the sense that this is not, of course, a likeness issues thing, because it's not like, using the likeness like and just drawing over that or whatever. But what it is like the inspiration, like if you were to watch a movie, if you were reading the comic, you could see, I could easily see this actor playing this character, or I could easily see this, and so on. And I've done, and that's kind of course, that's really much what I'm doing with my comics going forward, especially my current one, which I'm still currently working on. I have the of Luminar issue 1. I have the script pretty much completely finished. Now we're currently working on the art. My artist, she's like working on the art, and we're just like getting ready. Once we have like the right bits, then we're gonna get set in motion. We're going to set in motion like our campaign for Indiegogo. So look at Indiegogo. Keep your eye on Indiegogo, and also keep your eye on me on Twitter at Hardboiled Films. So that you will know when I'm going to be setting up the emails for the early backers emails for the fall and so on. But anyway, so enough of that. Back to the main thing, like City of Venus, Dead City. Well, this is like very much like it's a nice little dystopian thriller idea. And if you look at it, what this really is, I cannot help but feel like this is, if you remember that movie Elysium, this is Elysium as it should have been. Because Elysium sadly like had this political this like notion to it, this political element to it. And now there's nothing wrong with having like a political commentary in a story or whatever, as long as the politics serves the story and not the other way around. But sadly, it wasn't really. It really came across as kind of like a bit too much, like the class warfare kind of thing. But in this case, this is something very different. And the differences are, it's very bare, but the very premise of there is this elite society above the world, and beneath it things have been decimated and laid waste and destroyed. But underneath, like the City of Venus, the Dead City, like and he actually like goes in, like it begins the comic with like a quick little backstory, and like again, if this we're talking movies, like you could see this like almost like Star Wars. You see like the text on the screen and all that. It's one of those things where it goes good. But or I don't know, you could see maybe hear like a narration or what have you. But again, like this, you look at the backstory of this, like it is something very different from say Elysium. But like the idea of like this elite city above, like orbiting like above the earth, whereas like the city underneath was like once a paradise but is now decimated and destroyed. Yeah, again, great setup, and I am super excited, and I'm just, everything about this was super exciting. It was also known, by the way, Vinne Tartamella, like for those who don't know, like he's the artist of this thing and he's the writer. This is his baby through and through. And he's a master of both. Like this is really good stuff. And also like we talked to like his art, like this is his art style, and it just really goes to show like the big two, like the authorities of the big two, like Joe the Ostrich Quesada and so on, and Dan Didiot back when, like before Jim Lee was like has proven himself lately to be a far superior leader than Didiot. But again, Didiot and Quesada and all that, like basically like constantly mistreating him. And I believe it was like Quesada in particular that said was I believe, Vinny, if you're watching this, just please, like, I'm eagerly like correct me on this, but I believe you said it was Quesada in particular that was like trying to like steal your work, or someone did, or there were like people who were like in authority who were like trying to like steal his art. But just look at how good his art is. Like they really dumped on the bed by basically making the scenario, making the big two like just not a desirable place for him to be. It was like he had to go. Well, I mean, and honestly, just looking at so much of the art you see in like the comics in Marvel or what have you, you look at that and it's like, okay, you think that is acceptable art, and those who give you art like this are basically bullied out. But again, like the fact that he's not just a good artist but a good writer, I mean, it really just speaks volumes. Now, I will say this, like the king, he is the king of, like, let's be honest, just look at this. Just everything about just how he treats, like, again, I almost get the idea that this is arguably like a reason that these, when the leftists were like ruling Marvel and DC at the time, like trying to boot him out, because seriously. So, again, like, and one of the things that is like the centerpieces of Vinne Tartamella's like reputation among the indie comics scene is that he is a master of attractiveness in women in particular. Now, this is a limitation as to like his. Now, this is like limiting like a perception of his talent, because like he makes everyone, like, guys look awesome. All the guys look awesome, and the women look awesome too. But it's just like, I think the idea is that because the big two in general, like again Marvel in particular, has long kind of like really downplayed attractiveness, like like there's like I believe your boy Zach refers to it as like accepted body, like accepted body type or what have you. But no, like this, but just again, like, look at this seriously. And by the way, and he does it in a way that there's like, it's pretty clear that these are, if you will, strong women. They're strong looking, strong female characters, if you will. And it is unafraid to show that. Now on this, so that's the thing. So with that out of the way, long live the Bee King. Oh, by the way, like, there's this nice little thing right here. Like, there's very much like this. There's some zombie elements in here too, which is, I really like that. But by the way, like, and there's a thing about like this character right here. There's this one thing that's really cool about like the writing of this, that there's a mystery about this character right here. Now this woman right here, Trista, she's like a member of the resistance, if you will. She's like participates in a resistance, whereas this character right here, she's a mystery. Even to herself, like she gets like the first, like when it opens, like she's like has complete amnesia, doesn't know where she is, doesn't know who she is, what is she doing here, what's this thing on her wrist, everything. Now, but all she knows is that she's down here, and there's these zombie creatures that are in danger, both of them. But the two of them, like, they find themselves, they have to work together in order to get out of this mess and go to like the headquarters of the resistance, if you will, like where the resistance is hiding right now. Meanwhile, what's also interesting is like the villainess right here. I mean, there are a lot of women in this thing. A lot of strong women in this comic, I gotta say. Oh, Captain Uriel, like as the like this apparent villainess of the piece, seems to be right now. Anyway, but again, this. Now I will say this. Just the action. Oh, just the action is just very well done. Like, this is not something where it's like too much act, where there's so much like crazy action that you don't know what's going on. No. The action is like very well paced, and the action is actually pretty. It's clearly in service to the story. Like, this isn't something where it's just put in for the sake of putting it in. That's going to help us brief. Now, no complaints about the dialogue at all. Not really. It's not. I mean, is it quote unquote great dialogue? Well, not necessarily. It's just like it does its job, and there's nothing. But just there's nothing really that stands out to me as to like an issue, like something to look at. Like, this looks like some kind of weapon. I mean, it does its job. Nothing more, nothing less. You can make it transportation is ready. But I mean, there's like a good amount of dark humor. It says, just the fact that she's like, that's like your dark humor right now. Now, I'll save you. Now, I will say, like, maybe like I'll save you is arguably a little like melodramatic, but I don't know. Or like, decided to even run my ding. Who are you? No, I don't want to. No, I don't want to know right now. I mean, it's one of those. It kind of does it. It does its job, but it's like, is it super polished, or it's like super, where it's like very like realistic, where it's like you could believe the character saying it? Well, I don't know. I mean, what it is, it's like he's obvious. Like, Vinny is not trying to do like to push for like powerful lines or whatever. So, and as a result, it's not like, which is going to be very, as a result, like, it's nothing like, say, I don't know, George Lucas. Like, so this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. Like, oh, that's a great line. Well, it's calling attention to itself, dude. So, there doesn't really. This is dialogue that doesn't call attention to itself, and it doesn't call attention to itself as good. It doesn't call attention to itself as bad. But there's still like, it does its job. Like, you get these characters, you get like struggling with, what are you going on about? I just saved your life. The least you could do is thank me. Just stop. Well, some good stuff. It is good. And again, like, save me right, so I can be taken and experimented on. No thanks. Yeah. And again, look, it is some nice mystery here. Like, exactly. Again, why is she here? Like, what's this whole experimentations? What is the situation? Like, why are these creatures? Why are they like these zombified creatures and all that? And what is this thing on her wrist? And this whole thing, and even though like we're sure at first that this captain is like the villain, then you see her like really interacting with other villains too. Well, other characters too, like they're like high up on the elite. And just someone who's like this one like politician, if you will, that's like this leader, if you will, that's being very cruel even to her. And the thing is, I can't help thinking like there is more to this character here, where she starts off as being like one of the antagonists, but I feel like she doesn't even want my full report on info on my friends. She is not evil, and because of that, you get the idea like there is an arc to come with her, like just right here. Just she's struggling. She's clearly struggling with what's going on. She's on the other side, but she's not. You increasingly get the idea she's not the bad guy. And as for like this mysterious individual right here, one right here. Now, who is she? We don't know. Let's see. what's your what's your story? I don't know yet. It's just the mystery. Like when that thing comes off, what is this about? What is this about? The more I read this, the more I want to know the answers to these questions, and the more excited I get. So, cliffhanger right here, and it is, frankly, the perfect cliffhanger where where there's even more mystery to like what's going on, and this character that starts off as an antagonist, well, what's going to happen with her? So, needless to say, did I spoil anything? Well, here's the thing. This issue is pretty short. Now, Vinny himself said that, City of Venus issue 2 is going to be like quite a bit longer. Like 50 pages long, as opposed to this one's kind of like 20 pages long. But I gotta say, this is something to get. I will say this. This is absolutely something to get. And especially in the setup for the second one. So, again, I highly recommend getting this thing. Especially if this kind of story and this kind of art is something that appeals to you. I mean, it obviously appeals to me. Well, for obvious reasons, of course, but for more than that. I love a good mystery, and I love one that is well crafted and makes you excited to figure out, what is next, what is coming next, and basically anything by this guy. Just if you like the genre that he's working in, I say like this. Then his stuff is something you want to get. You like sci-fi, dystopian sci-fi? Get this. If you like those like thrillers, like these Woodlands kind of like thrillers, like get Through the Woods. If you like pirate stories, get Shadow of the Kraken. The more this guy, if he's gonna work on a project, you will know that in some way there's going to be high quality. So, without further ado, get City of Venus. Next time, and I'm going to be recording this right now, but next time, I'm going to do Preston Acevedo's Doc Salem. Alright? So, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. Thanks everyone for donating to Indiegogo for these great creators that I proudly endorse. And in the near future, thanks everyone giving to the Indiegogo for yours truly. You're giving some original content, and I'll be giving you another review in the near future. Thanks. Bye.